All right, so you learned our 5 strengthening and balance techniques, exercises when we're down on the ball. And now, the best way to judge your balance is, can you stand on this ball? We're supporting our entire weight on an unstable system, which is this ball. That means we have to be able to adjust our body to make us perfectly centered and balanced. So I'm going to show you our 5 techniques on how you go from the ground to standing on this ball. Technique number 1 to getting up on the ball and proving to yourself that you know what balance is all about is this technique right here. You're going to take your hands on the ball and you're going to gently roll it forward until your knees touch the ball, just like this. Once your knees touch the ball, you're going to continue rolling your whole weight forward until your feet come off the ball, just like that. One more time. Technique number 1, hands on the ball, bring your knees to the ball, roll forward until your feet come off the ground. That's technique number 1. All right, so you got technique number 1, hands on the ball, roll forward, knees come on, and the feet come off. Technique number 2, you're gonna bring one of your feet up to your hands. In this case, I'm gonna bring my left foot up to my hand. This is technique A, 2A. This is technique 2 Bravo, just like this. So, once again, you're gonna go through technique number 1, hands on the ball, knees touch, roll forward, that's in number 1 position. Technique number 2, you're gonna bring up one foot. Now, in technique number 2, to show that you have fully mastered technique number 2, you should be able to bring your hands off the ball. What happens is, you're balancing your weight by using your 2 platforms here on an unstable system. That's this ball. So if you master technique number 2, you should be able to do this right here. All right, so we looked over our first 2 techniques. Technique number 1, technique number 2A, and technique number 2B. 2 Alpha, 2 Bravo. We're gonna move on to technique number 3. But they build on top of each other. So we gotta start with number 1, hands on the ball, knees touch, roll forward, technique number 1. Bring up one of your feet, that's technique number 2 Alpha. Let's say you're the other way. You wanna do technique 2 Bravo. Bring it up. Remember, if we know we mastered technique number 2, if we can take our hands off and stabilize ourselves with just our leg, our shin, and our foot. Technique number 3 is getting both feet up on the ball. I'm back in number 1, 2, 3. So you want both feet on the ball and both hands on the ball. That's technique number 3. So now, here in technique number 3, we saw number 1, number 2, A and B, and number 3. We got here to 3. Now let's see number 4. 4 is the next to last step before you're actually standing on the ball. So if you're at 3, you're more than halfway there. So technique number 4 is just simply taking your hands off the ball. Now if you want to do that and maintain balance, that means you're going to have to be able to adjust your weight. Your back comes up nice and straight. And as your back comes up, your hands just naturally come off. Now, I'm separating my upper body and my lower body. My upper body is the stable part, my lower body is the unstable part. That's why it's so important to be able to separate movement between your upper and lower body. I don't want my shoulders to move because that's what's actually balancing me. My feet and my hips have to adjust to the weight distribution, which is bringing me back into the balance where my shoulders are. So if you're here and your hands are off and you're not falling off, you've mastered technique number 4. All right, so you want to know what true balance is, we're ready to take you to step number 5. You've seen all the way up to 4. Now all we got to do is put those together with our 5th technique, which is just standing up. It seems simple, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Make sure that you get it right. We're going to start with technique number 1. Hands on the ball, knees touch, push the ball forward, we roll up and our feet come off the ground. That's step number 1. Number 2, we're bringing up a foot to our hand. Technique number 3, bringing up the other foot. Technique number 4 is we straighten our back out, nice and straight, hands naturally come off. When we're in this position, we're very close to being perfectly balanced. But to know that we're perfectly balanced, we need to get up on this ball. All we gotta do is push our legs up and make sure that our shoulders stay nice and square and our feet are able to make the adjustment. See how the shoulders don't move, but the hips are able to adjust. That's the importance of being able to separate upper and lower. And that is perfect balance.